Hi, I'm Cameron Skinner. I'm an Associate Dean here at the School of Graduate Studies, and I take care of student affairs and awards, and part of student affairs is dealing with academic integrity for all graduate students at the university. Academic integrity really boils down to being honest and forthright, explaining what you're doing and how you're doing it to the reader who needs to understand what's your work and what's somebody else's work. Whenever there's a problem with academic integrity, students find their way to my office and we try and resolve the issue, and there are rules and regulations that govern academic integrity at the university. The university's definition of plagiarism is very clear. It's the presentation of somebody else's work as one's own or without acknowledgement. One of the big don'ts in graduate school and in life is don't cheat, don't steal, and don't lie. And this applies academically. When you plagiarize, you're really stealing from somebody. When you don't tell us where the source comes from, you're really lying about it, and you're stealing somebody else's work. And everybody should be aware that anytime they are found guilty of plagiarism, there's notation in their record, a permanent notation in their record. It's very hard to go to an employer when they want to see your transcript and see, gee whiz, this person was pinched for violation of the academic integrity. Do we really want to hire somebody who's not been honest at university? And it really shoots a hole in your career plans. It can be disastrous. It can effectively cancel your professional goals and your professional career. And this can all boil down to just one assignment or one lab report or sometimes even one paragraph within an assignment or a report. And students need to be very cautious, very careful about correct citation. So many students don't understand exactly what needs referencing and what doesn't need to be referenced. In general, if you have to look it up in a book, on the internet, in a journal, in a textbook, all that needs to be referenced. What doesn't need to be referenced is generally what's known as common knowledge. Common knowledge is what you've already learned in previous courses. It's what a person at your level of experience would be expected to know offhand. If you have to look it up, you have to cite it. The internet's a wonderful source of information, and we encourage you to use it. But even though it's the internet, you still must cite it. And this means copying the URL and pasting it in as your reference. Also include the date. Paraphrasing can be the hardest thing to do because you're really being asked to take somebody else's ideas, somebody else's words, and reformulate them in your own words and your own style of presentation. Do not misrepresent somebody else's work as your own. If you find it somewhere, tell us where you found it. It's easy, it's not hard to do, and it's only fair and honest. And students have the biggest trouble with that because many times they believe that the expert has said it so well and so perfectly that why should they actually even dare rewording it and representing it. And to be a good academic and a good scholar and a good student, this is what we're asking you to do. Do not go ahead and prepare your work by assembling many little different pieces, all gluing them together, making a little Frankenstein document. This is still dishonest, and it's still plagiarism, and it's still not allowed by the university. Some students try and help their friends by answering and writing the answers for them. This is not allowed. Your work needs to be what you produced, and their work needs to be what they produced. Both of you would be in trouble if you get caught doing this. We encourage students to work together and share ideas and share how to solve problems. Ultimately, though, you have to produce your own work. Many of you will be new to English and not comfortable with your own writing style, but the only way your writing improves is if you practice and practice, and in many disciplines, the quality of the English is not really what's being sought, it's the answers. Students often find themselves at deadlines without having the work done. We all have busy lives. Don't try and circumvent this by plagiarizing or copying or borrowing something from somebody else. This is not allowed, and ultimately it gets you into bigger trouble. What you want to do is you want to approach your TA or your prof before the deadline and ask for some extra time, or take the deadline hit. Most often it's a penalty of 10% or 10 marks. That's nothing compared to losing your entire academic